Welcome back to our channel. We are going to discuss a fun topic today.
Real estate.
The real estate. Is there another bubble or is it a hoax? If you guys,
It's interesting. It's a very interesting topic.
yeah, and if you guys have realized, the cost of homes have skyrocketed in the past year, and a lot of it has to do with the coronavirus, believe it or not. Not necessarily because of the job losses, but what's happening is there's a shift in population. There's a shift in type of homes being built, especially in the dense areas. So what the coronavirus do? It actually drove people out of dense areas like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago.
And I love it.
and what happened was a lot of
It's
these
overrated.
people,
Just people, they start realizing
they're like,
that they're
okay,
not getting.
city life is crap.
They don't get the quality of life, standard of living,
Yeah.
compared to what they're paying for.
So and what's happening is there's not a saturation of homes. There's actually a shortage of homes. And when I say homes, I don't mean condos.
Single family homes.
I don't mean
Townhouses.
condos and townhouses. It's single family homes. There's a shortage of single family homes. There's only so many single family homes available to fulfill the need of these people escaping. So what's happening is when a house, this is a seller's market. So if you have a house you want to sell, guess what? You're going to make a ton of money on it. Because once you put your house on the market,
Depending on which state you are. If you're in Illinois and stuff, you're screwed.
caveat that depending on which state you are.
State you are. If your
or
state
them-
is blue, most likely you might be
Actually,
losing depending
no.
on
Actually,
where
no.
it is.
Believe it or not, the blue states, the houses over
No,
there.
New York and stuff is just
No.
went down,
We're
or
talking
New
about single
Jersey and
family.
stuff.
We're talking about single family.
Even them.
Well,
How many blue states do you want to give you an example that the real estate market hasn't gone up or hasn't gone up as much as the other
actually,
states?
California has gone up a lot.
No, California, that's particular areas. The rest of the California,
has
that's
gone-
not the case.
New
People are
York,
living.
New York has gone up a lot.
Leaving the
New York
California.
State. I'm not talking about city.
You talk about Illinois, you talk about Michigan, you talk about Pennsylvania, you talk about New Jersey.
But
New
yeah,
York,
you
Massachusetts.
have to realize
how many states?
where these people are leaving. These people are leaving the condensed area to go to a more rural area.
Or just moving to red states,
or
moving to the
different
south.
states. Florida, biggest boom. Everyone-
Tennessee, Nashville area, Atlanta
People are
area,
just moving.
South Carolina, North Carolina.
So what
Virginia.
happened? What happened was that even now, from last year to now, cost of wood has tripled in price. Literally tripled. So if a house cost, we're now just going to talk about a new structure, a house being built. A house that was being built that will cost $750,000 to build from ground up will now cost $1.2 million. This is how extreme the prices have skyrocketed.
The shortage of lumber,
there's
imports from Canada.
There's a lot of factors that play in it. That played a big role in the price hike of the houses. Also, shortage of houses. Now, let's take California for example. If you live in a dense area, somewhere like Los Angeles, right? You want to leave that dense area and go somewhere that you can actually have a backyard or something like that. Even those areas are dense. You have to realize, in California, it's very rare for you to get even a tenth of an acre of land. Or let's just say quarter of an acre. It's very rare for you to be able to get a quarter of an acre land to yourself.
In the city.
Not the city. I mean, we're talking about county. LA County itself. Okay, LA County is massive. Then you go to a state like Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Florida. You have land. There's a lot of single family homes there. You have enough land for a backyard. You have enough land to do whatever you want. And now what's happening? There's an output of people from California going to these new states, and that's causing a shortage of houses. And the price spike. It's because people want to get into these homes. So if this guy puts a house on sale for $500,000, now there's a bidding war. People are bidding. They're upbidding. Okay, they are no longer paying the asking price. They are paying above the asking
with interest
price.
rates being low,
And
they say, okay, even if I buy this house and the house prices are going to go up, and I'm paying this like a low interest rate, 2 to 3%, whatever that is. So they said, okay, in 5-10 years, I would have good equity and I've been living in a house. And the other thing is just a lot of millennials are passing 30s and they're getting married and they want to settle down. And then the corona exacerbated that because a lot of people now they're working from home, especially in the technology sector, which is like office work and stuff in Washington, D.C. area and the Virginia area that we are. And so they say, okay, if I'm going to be working from home, then you want to have a space for a home gym, maybe a room for exercise for the kids and all that space. And then the safety, right? Because you don't want to be in a crowded area because usually those are, you have the chaos or they might have, they don't feel as safe. So they say, okay, you want to have backyard, just the American dream, single family home, have a space maybe for an office to work from home and have privacy and all that. So there's just so many different factors, but the prices have gone up like crazy.
I mean, if
especially in the area that
you were one of the lucky ones who bought a house a few years ago, if you bought a house like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, man, you are a lucky guy or gal. You guys have made a ton of money on
now
the
the
house.
question is this another bubble?
It's not. I say it's not. Only because, hear me out.
Let's say the same thing.
No. Back when the bubble burst, okay, what happened and what caused the bubble to burst? There was a lot of exotic loans available to public to basically get. The public were not interested in the interest rate. They were interested in the payment. Okay, so you had a lot of foreign investors coming in, dumping cash because the real estate market was booming. You bought an item. I bought a townhouse for $350,000 in 2005. In 2006, that townhouse was worth $460,000. I made $100,000 on that townhouse in a year, and I don't have to do nothing. What got me to that townhouse? I got 100% financing. I didn't put any money down. I got an 80% first loan, 20% second loan. First loan
he worked
was
in the bank. He just loaned himself.
Hey, why not? First loan, 6.5%. Second loan, 9%. Okay, that was the rate. Did I care? Nah. What I cared about was the payment. First loan was a 2-year interest only. Second loan was a variable rate, which the rate was not fixed. So it could have gone up to 12% at one point, and my payment would have changed maybe like $50 or $60. The point was here, based on the documents that I provided to the bank, I qualified for that loan because of the payments. Okay? After 2 years, I would have gone into a variable rate, but still interest only. You're not paying the principal down. You're just only paying interest. Okay? Now hear me out. In 2 years, the markets start to slow down and come down. Why? In that time frame, another exotic loan came out, which was negative amortization loan. What did that do? You, Mr. A, make $3,000 a month. You go and buy a $600,000 house. No down payment. Negative amortization loan. The bank appraised your house at 125%, which means they overvalued your house. They were hoping that your house equity is going to rise in another
So
year.
even if you can't make payment, then they can repossess the house and make money on it.
But the 125%. Now, how does your payment work? Negative amortization payment. They value a house at 125%. You pay half the interest payment, half. So if your payment was $2,500, you're paying $1,200 a month. Then the remaining $1,200 gets added onto your loan. So as you're making a half interest rate payment, the other half is being tagged onto your loan. Okay? So now your $600,000 loan is increasing every month. It's getting bigger and bigger. You're not paying down the principal. You haven't put any money down, and you're making a. And on top of that, they came up with 2 programs: no income, no asset, meaning you don't have to show anything other than your social security number. As long as you have a 740 FICO score, you're good. Okay? They had another program: no income with asset. So as long as you had an asset, like 401k,
as long as you showed up and you had your pants on and you had a shirt on, you get a loan.
The catch was here: after 2 years, those loan payments be turned into a balloon payment, which means your $1,600 a month or $1,200 a month payment, after that 2 years, is going to turn into a $4,000 a month payment on an adjustable rate. Okay? You only make $3,000 a month. How are you going to afford a $4,000 a month payment?
I think they saw like there was a good story. I just wanted like good connection here. East India Company, the British East India Company, and then you had the Dutch and Swedish East India Company. It was the most powerful company in the world for centuries. Like the power, they were more powerful than literally like a royal family in Britain. They were kingmakers. Yeah. They made so much money, the East India Company, because they're the first one, as I said, like exploring all corners of the world and all that. It wasn't just the British Empire. It was East India Company, and obviously they were the kingmakers of who would be in the English, like a House of Lords and Parliament and, the royal family and all that. So they had a lot of influence on who would be in the court and all that, so because of their money and influence. So one of the funny stories, one of the islands that they were trading like in East Asia. I have to look at it again. It's been a long time. I was reading about it. So they found out that these people, they had some type of shell, like a seashell, some type of seashell. They valued it. It's like you would go to, let's say, China or Asian countries. They don't give a crap about the diamond. They love jade, right? Jade is God for them. Like you have jade, you have good jade, they pay big money for it. Or good ginseng. Even the first ship here from America went to China, filled with ginseng from Appalachia. Ginseng, you can pay like thousands of dollars for a good root.
That's a good
because they
business,
believe
actually.
that it heals everything. It heals everything. Any kind of like illness or any kind of bad energy or any kind of issue that you have in your body,
with
the right ginseng and with the right combination, you can heal that. Literally, it's like more powerful than chemotherapy for them, like ginseng, right? So think about it. So that shell was like something like that. So what they did was say, and then they found, because obviously they were traveling all around the coast of Africa, right, to go to Indian Ocean. Back then, there weren't no Suez Canal. So they had to go all around Africa, go to Indian Ocean to make it to China.
Yep.
So they found really nice shells in some areas, like in ocean, off of coast of Africa.
They just gave it value.
So they would take this shell, take it over there, and they would get whatever they wanted. And they knew, obviously, they have to limit the supply, because if you have too much of it, then it would lose value.
It's like Bitcoin.
Once they took everything out of that society or island or community, whatever they wanted, once they took everything out of that place and just pretty much like robbed it blind, once they took all the resources or all the goods or whatever they're looking for, once they took all of that, then they said, and think about it, those people were trading in the area, vicinity, all in those shells. And then they said, you know what? We have found a place which has a lot of these shells and good quality, and they brought and just dumped the shells there. So their whole economy
just collapsed.
Just collapsed, right? So when it comes to bankers, when it comes to banks and bankers, every time that I see is a rush towards certain things, I'm very hesitant. I see it as that seashell.
Yeah, I mean,
so it doesn't matter if it's a real estate market. So I gave that example. So everybody needs to be careful because
be careful with your investment. I mean, like you gotta
people that are hyping and you jump on it and stuff. You might be saying, "Oh, this and that."
So a lot of people. So what happened was a lot of people
don't buy something that you cannot choose.
So what happened was a lot of these people who previously owned homes, they saw the skyrocket. The value is going up on their house, so they rushed. They got the second mortgage out, they refinanced, and they pulled money out so they could buy another property. But that property was already expensive enough, so they just they put like 20% down payment. Anyways, long story short, what happened? People bought houses that they could not afford. People bought more houses that they could not afford. They cashed out their current home to get money to buy another property because they thought they could make a profit, turn around for a profit. And I used to listen to a lot of personnel on radio saying, "Oh, it's a great time to buy," blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, within 6 months, they started shifting. Don't take money out of your house. Do not take an equity line. Do not do this. Do not do that. So what happened after those payments got adjusted, people couldn't afford it anymore. Okay? A lot of these homes, the value... The value was a fictitious value.
Like
it wasn't real.
Would buy a house and add a shed to it, the price would go up like $200,000.
And what happened was
it just didn't match the reality of the supply and demand.
Well, what happened was
the cost of like a 2x4.
The house prices plateaued. Okay, so for that person who was on a negative amortization, when it came down to refinance, now they owed more than what the house was worth. So you can't refinance unless you come up with a crap load of money as a down payment to bring the value down and have some sort of equity to be able to get a good rate. What happened after that? Foreclosures started to come out. Endless foreclosure homes. Endless. Okay, people started to panic. They stopped making payments. They lived in their house for like 2 or 3 years without making a payment. The banks got screwed.
And they ripped the house apart.
This is why when Obama did the bailout.
I looked at a lot of houses. You were better off to buy a regular house than the foreclosures.
I bought a foreclosure
because they even ripped up some of the toilets and stuff,
But even at that point, if you buy a foreclosure home, you get a great deal, sick deal, dirt cheap, regardless of what the rate was, but dirt cheap. What happened to the banks? The banks got bailed out. And they changed their policy. Now everything is full document. You have to show you can afford it. You have to, abide by the procedure. Underwriting procedures changed. And now, if you buy a house now, you have to basically provide everything shy of your DNA sample. You have to show where the money came from, where the money is going. How did you save up this money?
I totally agree with you, but there is a question mark.
Hold on. Let me finish. So the numbers now are not fictitious, okay? The numbers now are not fake. The houses are actually gone up in price because the lack of single family homes. The cost of building a home has gone up because of shortage of, I can't say shortage, but a price hike in wood. And this is why I said there's
not just lumber, all materials.
Yeah, all materials. And this is why I don't think there's a bubble. There's no bubble unless there's going to be a massive layoffs.
So that's my question is, like, people, they say, okay, the house prices have gone up. Is it really house prices have gone up? Yes. But how much of it is the money that you are putting in today right now and already losing value? That means whatever the value is. Last year, the US dollar declined 7%. That means for every dollar that you had, you get 93. If you had $1 from last year and in your pocket and you have it now, the purchasing power of that is 93 cents. So that's, I'm not even including the inflation that you can visibly see. Like you can go to a store, everybody can look at it.
I don't think
the food and stuff becoming smaller, the commodities are becoming smaller or just less, and you're not getting what for your money is. And I'm not saying the property value hasn't gone up.
No, I don't think the increase now has anything to do with that yet.
No, I'm bringing it to the point.
Yet.
So the banks are, right, they're smart. They said, oh, we have low interest rate, which makes it attractive for professionals, young professionals. They say, oh, interests are low, this is the best time to buy, right? And they're working and they're making money.
It's not the best time. It's a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market.
No, for people that they want to buy, if they haven't had a house, this is the best time to buy.
Right now it's a seller's market. What does that mean?
My thing is, I'm looking at the bigger thing. I'm looking at the bigger thing. We have massive national debt and unfunded liabilities, right? We talked about that in another video. Now, my thing is, once that pile hits the fan, who knows, like people remember, the older people remember 70s of massive inflation and all that. So if the government cannot extend the government's credit card and just keep quantitative easing, means injecting
they just get another
digital currency and stuff into the system. At some point, but at some point that's going to hit the fan. And I think at that point, obviously, is always real estate is a good investment because everybody needs to have a roof over their head. It doesn't have to be fancy. Everybody needs to have a roof over their head. So that's like a main.
It is a great investment, and my point is, right now the market is
I think if somebody's making a great deal and selling and taking that money and investing it in something like a precious metal or something more durable.
That's a lot. So that's what a lot of people are doing because they're hoping that they're gonna sell high. If things
goes down, then obviously they're protected their asset and the gains.
But they're thinking they're selling high and they're gonna buy cheap, and that's where I say it's not gonna happen. Okay, I don't think you got to realize it's not going to be a crash in the real estate market. There's going to be a decrease in value, which is typically if we get into a really bad situation where there's like a massive layoffs, then we might have an issue. But even with the coronavirus hitting us last year, a lot of these banks, they deferred the payment or they added the whatever payments to the end of the loan, almost like a negative amortization. People that make their mortgage for like 6 months, 8 months, or whatever. But you have to realize the bank is going to try to protect that asset as long as possible before they even start their foreclosure procedure. Banks don't want to do foreclosures. Trust me, they lose so much money on foreclosures. They learned their lesson. So now they put so many different programs in place to save that homeowner from losing their home. With that, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to buy a house, definitely buy a house, but do it smart. Okay, be smart about it. Don't rush into it.
Family home. Don't buy cars.
Yeah, I mean, don't rush into buying a house just because you think that the house market is going up. Buy something that you can afford, but get yourself into a real estate one way or another. Okay, one way or another. If it's an hour away, who cares? If it's 30 minutes away, who cares? If it's 100 square foot smaller than you expected, who cares? But study the area, make sure you get yourself into a good area. I don't think there's going to be a bubble burst. I think what's going to happen is there might be like 5 to 10% decrease on the price, which is almost nothing. Right now with these house prices, you're talking about like 50 or 60,000.
So my thing is, let's say if you are buying a house and your loan is $500,000 and whatever your income is, if 10 years down the road, that $500,000, it has become $800,000 home, that $800,000 is not going to even have the same purchasing power of the $500,000 that you initially bought. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, the price increase, depending on the inflation, and it depends on the loss of dollar value, right? I just told you last year during COVID, they have passed $8 trillion which in Great Recession, it was less than $2 trillion for the whole saga.
Of course.
So in 1 year, and they're just going. They just want to drag it because they want to steal more money. The people in power, they just want to steal more money because they know ship is going down. Maybe they know something we don't know, but I'm just seeing the signs. All I'm saying is just this is losing value. That means your actual, what you have in your house, they don't have to tax you. They don't have to tax you. They don't have to individually come and say, oh, you're making $40,000, $50,000, pay this much tax. They don't need to do that. Just by printing more money, right? But who is getting that money? That's several thousand pages all going to the special interest.
Yeah.
They give like a few $100 paycheck, which is a fraction of the $1 trillion bill that they pass, right? Mm-hmm. Even if they would give that $600 to everybody, it would be less than $200 billion to the country, which they don't. Depending on the income, you're not going to get it. But I'm just saying, even if they do that. So a lot of this increases, honestly, to me, I don't put a lot of weight into it because I think a lot of it is obviously the loss of value over the years. In short term, obviously, if somebody's just buying a house for $500,000, in 2 years they sell it for $800,000, good for them. Cash it out while you can, get that money, put it in something more. Put it in something more stable.
Yeah.
Now, if there is another piece of land, some other places you can get for a better deal, like do that. So, what I'm just saying is, when you say it's not going to crash, I agree with that in a sense. The reason is because that time the dollar value was same, constant, like it was similar, didn't lose that much value. But the prices went too much, and then the market crashed.
So there has to be a reason for it to crash. Okay, inflation is not a reason for it to crash. Inflation is not a reason. Reason for it to crash has to be...
No, inflation is not the reason. All I'm saying is the money that you think you are making on the house is not as much as you think it is.
What's going to happen is, as I said, like when you sign up to these like stupid exotic loans that they had back then, that was the cause. It was nothing else but that. People buying houses they couldn't afford. That was the reason for the bubble.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
When we get a roof over our head, studio is over here.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please share, subscribe, and hit the like button.
Send us the comments and let us know what you want.
Put your comments below. Hit the like button.
We're just looking around, trying to just talk about a little bit broader issues, right? So it's kind of
talk about politics once.
No, just the broader issues because it's all related, right?
Yeah.
Broader issues. So when I just want to, if I look back at the videos like 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then I said, okay, I can relate to it or I could see it, like something that is actually relevant.
No, I agree.
We don't want to talk about some celebrities just, put their finger in their nose or something or just say something on Twitter.
60,000
There's plenty of people doing that. There's plenty. We just want to do something a little bit more thought-provoking topics. Hopefully it would be helpful for other people that, they pay attention what's going on around us, that they have same-minded. Send us your comment, what you think. We look at it and, we would love to hear.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys turning in. Please share, subscribe, and comment. And hit that like button, hit the bell button for you to get notification when we post another video. God bless you guys. Take care. See you guys later.